Monarchs are one of about 15,000 species of butterflies that exist all around the world. Monarch butterflies generally live all across North America, but they definitely prefer areas where it's a little bit warmer. And like all butterflies, monarchs go through a metamorphosis, which is essentially how they change from when they're a tiny little egg. They go through a couple different phases and then they turn out to be an adult butterfly. So when this happens, the females, they'll lay their eggs. They actually kind of create like a little glue, and they will glue their egg onto the host plant. So for butterflies, where they lay their eggs is really important, because usually when the caterpillars are born, they eat whatever plant they're laid on. So it has to be a specific type of plant that fits their diet. So for monarchs, the only type of plant that they're laid on is called a milkweed plant. So the mama butterfly will glue her eggs to the underside or to a leaf of one of the milkweed plants. And in just about 4 days, those eggs will hatch and a teeny tiny little caterpillar will come out onto the leaf and they'll start eating. First, they'll eat their little eggshell and then they'll move on to the plant itself. And over the next 10 to 14 days, these caterpillars go from teeny tiny, they go through 5 different molts. They get bigger and they shed their skin 5 different times until they end up being about this big, more than an inch or 2 long. And they then, after that time, after about 10 to 14 days, they will slowly get into their cocoon. So they create a little substance, they wrap themselves in it, and then they kind of hang in a nice protected area, because during this time, they can't move at all. They're totally immobile. So the more that they blend into their surroundings, the less likely something will be able to find them and eat them. So after about a week or 2 in their cocoons, an adult butterfly will emerge from this cocoon, or the pupa as we call it, and they'll eat that little casing. And then the adults, so the caterpillar's job is to eat. They want to eat as much food as they can and get as big as they can. But when they're adults, their job kind of changes. Their job now is to find a mate and lay new eggs so a whole new generation of butterflies can be born. And the butterflies that hatch in the middle of summer, they actually only live up to about 5 weeks. So they don't have a ton of time to find a mate and lay their eggs. However, the butterflies that are born towards the end of summer, they can live for about 8 to 9 months. And because they live so long and it would get kind of cold in the winter, they actually have to migrate. They'll travel up to 3,000 miles all the way from New York down to California or Mexico, somewhere it's a little bit warmer for them. And then at the end of the cold season, they fly all the way back to where they came from. They are the only butterfly species that we know of that has a 2-way migration like a bird does. So these butterflies are so incredible, they're so unique and probably really iconic. Because they live all around North America, lots of people are used to seeing them. So you guys would get a little bit luckier seeing a monarch butterfly if you planted some milkweed in your yard. And then around summer, keep your eyes out, because that is when you are going to see some beautiful butterflies emerging from their cocoons.